What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Decimal Operations. I'm glad I didn't scare you off from adding and subtracting decimals. Today, we're going to be multiplying and dividing decimals by whole numbers. What do I mean by that? Let's get right into it. All right, if we take this decimal, 3.4 times 2. Now, we could just do the traditional way of doing it by saying 2 times 4 is 8. And then 3 times, and remember, this is 30. So we're going to add a 0 there because we're in the tens place. 2 times 30 equals 60. And then we add, and we will get the answer of 68. We could do it that way, or another method would be renaming it. So 3.4 is actually, it's 34 tenths. And if you multiply it by 2, 34 doubled is actually, we know this as 68 tenths. And if you know your place value, 68 tenths is 6.8, which is what I forgot on this side because we carried over 1 and we moved over 1. So again, if you do it this way, you might have a problem with moving the decimal like myself. Boo, Mr. Nicanor. But if we knew that it was 68 tenths, right away, I know that 68 tenths is 6.8. That's strategy number 1. Now it's your turn. Can you do this? Can you try multiplying 3 times 41.2? You might have to combine both, doing the traditional way, but also try renaming it, just so you don't have to worry where the decimal goes. Press pause now to try and solve it. All right, hopefully you solved it. If you renamed it, it looks like this. All right, so we've got 412 tenths, and we're going to multiply that by 3. And this is how it's going to go. This time I'm going to start with the hundreds. You can go with the ones first, but I'm going to go with the hundreds. So 3 times 400 is 1200. Can I move this up? Let's see. Can I move? Oh, there we go. I can move the whole thing up. Ooh, I can move. Whee! Where do I want to go? Let's go right here. Okay, and now we're going to go 3 times 10. And because there's a 1 in the tens place, 3 times 10 is what? It is 30. Then we go 3 times 2, which would equal 6, and you add it all up. Hopefully this is the answer that you got. 1,236, don't forget tenths. And so the answer would be 123.6. Did you get it? Let's do strategy number 2, place value chart. And let's get the place value chart here in 3, 2, 1. Bam! There is our place value chart. All right, so we have to put our decimal there again. It was 41.2 times 3. So what is the answer to 41.2 times 3? Let's input some of our decimals into the place value chart. So we've got 4 tens. We have got 1 ones, and then 2 tenths, just like that. Let's move these over. Okay, so now we're going to multiply them by 3. So we'll go to the tens and we'll start multiplying it by 3. As you can see, now I have 2 groups of 4 because I've multiplied it by another group, but I need 3 groups. Just like that. So now, how many tens do I have? I've got 4, 8, 12. I've got 12 tens in here. Now, we're going to multiply in all the groups for the ones and the tenths as well. And so now we have 12 tens, 3 ones, and 6 tenths. And we can't have 12 tens, so we need to regroup these ones. Let's regroup 10 of them to turn them into hundreds. So it should look like this. And we now have 123 and 6 tenths. Did we get the answer? Let's move on to dividing decimals. Strategy number 1. We're going to divide parts. The equation is 12.6 divided by 2. Now, we've all done long division before, but we're going to divide it into parts this time. We're familiar with, get my pen, 12.6 divided by 2. Now, what would happen if we changed up our understanding of what 12.6 divided by 2 is? Can we take 12 and divide it into some numbers that is easy to manage and at the same time still divisible by 2? What do I mean by that? Let's take a look. Check it out. Let's break this down in this way, because 12 can also be 10 plus 2, and 6 is 6/10, and we know that. So let's clean this board up just a little bit. What we can now do is take a look at these individually. We know that 2 can go into 10 5 times. 2 can go into 2 1 time. And 2 can go into 6 3 times. And what are we left with? Well, we've got 5 plus 1 plus 3/10, which also equals, let's move this all over. Let's make a divider right here. And we've got 5 plus 1 equals 6 plus 3/10. Or you could also say that it is 6.3. All right, let's review. We've taken 12.6 and we divided it by 2. And we wanted to divide 12 into something more manageable. So 10 plus 2, and then we added 6/10, which is right here. 6/10 went down here. It's going to be your turn now. Let's get a blank page. Just like that. Can you divide this question for us? Can you divide 32.4 by 3? Press pause right now and try and solve it using the last strategy. All right, what'd you get? Let's move this up and write out the whole equation again. Let's go 30, because we know 30 can go into 3. And we're left with this right here, 2.4. What could we do to divide this to easily make it go into 3? I have an idea. Did you do this? 24/10. Let's try it. 3 goes into 30. Actually, let's clean this up just a little bit. Let's move you out of the way. 3 goes into 30 10 times. And then 3 goes into 24 8 times. 8/10. Or we can call it 10.8. Did you get that? Awesome. Let's move on to the second strategy, the place value chart. We're going to use 12.6 divided by 2 once again. And let's get that place value chart. Where are you? Where are you? There we go. And it's got the dots in there for us. Perfect. So we've got 1/10, 2/1, and 6/10, which is also 12.6. I think we need to regroup. If we're going to divide this stuff by 2, we can't divide this into half. So we're going to regroup it and add 10 more to the ones. So let's move this over to here and add 10 of them. All right, now that we've added 10 to the ones, now we want to divide it by 2. In the 1 section, we've got 10 plus 2, so we have a total of 12 ones, and we've got 6/10. If we divided them into half because they're equally divided, I divided them earlier, we can see that there are 6 dots in this group and 6 ones in this group. And over here, we've got 3/10 in this group, 3/10 in this group. Therefore, our answer will be 6.3. Is that what you got too? Now it's your turn. I'm going to give you a question, and you're going to press pause, and you're going to try and solve it using division. Here we go. Can you divide 32.4 and 3? All right, press pause, and let me know when you're finished. So let's start it off. 3 tens, 2 ones, and 4 tenths. How are you going to figure this one out? Which one are you going to regroup? Or if you did it, which one did you regroup? Did you get 10.8? How'd I get that? Because when we divide it into groups, we have 3 groups of 1 in the tens, so that's 1, which would equal 10. And then we've got 3 groups of 8 in the tenths. 10.8. All right. You must be masters at this now. And if you're not, it's all good. All you have to do is hit the rewind button. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to ask me. All right, happy mathing.